good, Jair?
I wasn't here yesterday.
Hello? Oh, perfect. Thank you. All right. So I now call to order this meeting of the Pierce County Charter Review Commission on June 15th at 6 p.m. Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Lisa Boyd, here. George Consuelo,
Presente.
Mason Fletcher, Kate Ginn, present. Sharon Hannick, here. Caleb Heimlich, Elizabeth Herrera, here. Billy Joe Hetherington,
Here.
Jake Hunter,
Here.
Martha Lance, here. Justin Layton, Brenda Likens,
Here.
Brenda Molesky,
Here.
Jerome O'Leary,
Here.
Holly Rogie, here. Rajana Rohr, here. Devin Rydell Kelly,
Here.
Troy Sarad,
Here.
Jen Marie Strickling, here. Judson Willis,
Present.
and Kelsey Behrens.
Here.
I'll circle back. Mason Fletcher, Caleb Heimlich,
Here.
Justin Layton.
Thank you. All right, so now we'll move on to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So everyone, I know it's a little tight in here tonight, but we wanted to have plenty of room for folks to participate in our exercise. So, next item is approval of the agenda, and if absent any objection, I would request to reorder the agenda to move the presentation to follow the approval of minutes. Just to move that. Okay. Second. Move it as the motion in a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion to move the presentations to after approval of minutes, please say aye. Aye. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? That motion passes. So we will move the presentation up. And clerk, if you can please have the record show that Commissioner Layton has joined us. And as a reminder for any of our online commissioners, if you can please email our clerk your selections for the DOT exercise so that we make sure to get those if you haven't already. That would be great. All right, so that moves us on to our approval of minutes. We have minutes from June 1st and June 3rd and June 8th.
Okay, so we approve the agenda as amended? Or we only approve?
I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for catching that. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any discussion on the agenda as amended? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. Thank you again, clerk, for that. That moves us on to approval of minutes. So in your packet, we have minutes from June 1st, June 3rd, and June 8th. Can I get a motion to approve these minutes?
Move to approve all the minutes as they are presented.
Motion in a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Seeing none. And clerk, if we can note that Commissioner Fletcher has joined us as well. All in favor of approving the minutes as stated, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Seeing none, minutes have been approved. So that will move us on to our presentation. So I do want to acknowledge that this presentation is an exception to the way that we have moved through our process previously. When we first reached out to all of the offices in the county, the courts declined our offer to present to the commission, but they reached out to be able to give us a short presentation. And since we have not heard from the judicial branch of Pierce County government, I did allow this specific exception. We only have 10 minutes for the presentation as well as for questions, so I would like to just make sure everyone is aware of that piece. And with that, I would love to ask our presenters to come up to the podium.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tom Quinlan. I'm a lifelong Pierce County Council District 7 resident. I am a Pierce County Superior Court judge, having the honor of being entrusted with that responsibility by Pierce County voters in the last 2 consecutive elections. I'm also a parent of a child who was subject to juvenile court detention and diversion programs at Raymond Hall in the early 2000s. As is the case universally among my judicial colleagues, I'm requesting a do not pass vote on the proposed Charter Amendment C-18. The position of the entire Superior Court bench opposing C-18 is outlined in a written submittal to this body. I trust you have that document, that you will read it if you've not read it. I wish to take this opportunity to supplement the information in it and to answer the question of why the judges are speaking up now. Presently, the Pierce County Charter does not entangle the political or policy goals of either the executive or the legislative branches with that of the judicial branch of government. C-18 proposes to do just that. And upon study and understanding of the same, the judiciary comes to its collective response, which has been provided to you in writing and supplemented by myself and some of my colleagues this evening. Our justice system rests on a simple but indispensable principle: judicial independence. It is the safeguard that ensures every person who comes before the court is treated fairly, impartially, and without regard to external pressure. As we have seen on a national level, when this principle is compromised, even slightly, the integrity of our democracy is placed at risk. C-18 interferes with judicial independence, whether that's by limiting the court's authority, influencing judicial decision-making, or allowing undue political intervention, whether now or after future elections, all of which have the very real potential of undermining the very foundation of the rule of law. Courts are designed to be a check, not an administrative tool. Judges must be free to interpret the law without fear of retaliation and without expectation of reward. Any attempt to weaken that independence, no matter how well-intentioned it may appear, sets precedent that future lawmakers could exploit, turning the judiciary from a guardian of rights into an instrument of policy. We must remember that the stability and credibility of our legal system are not guaranteed. The people rely on our collective vigilance. When legislation threatens to erode judicial neutrality, as C-18 does, we are called to speak, not for the benefit of judges, but for the protection of every citizen who depends upon the courts to be fair, to be consistent, and to be free from influence. Your upholding this principle is not an act of partisanship. Rather, it's an act of stewardship. We enlist you as stewards of the rule of law to cast a do not pass vote on C-18. I want to thank you for your time. I'll yield to one of my colleagues. Thank you.
Hello, I am Judge Evans. I've been on Pierce County Superior Court since 2021. I was the previous presiding judge at juvenile court, and I am the incoming presiding judge as of January for the court as a whole. I just wanted to briefly say that we certainly welcome, as a court, the idea of accountability. We are accountable to the voters, and we are accountable to the community as a whole. But what I think is very important to understand is that when our ability to make decisions is interfered with, it creates issues that have a very negative consequence on the community as a whole, and frankly, the justice system. In the last year and a half, we have instituted a number of rather significant changes to the court. A lot of those are about structure, but they are also about accountability. The previous setup of our juvenile court did allow some things to not be monitored as closely as we would prefer. We have instituted a series of changes that that we have announced previously and that are outlined previously in other documents. But essentially, the court is monitoring everything that happens there and is very active in the administration of justice, and specifically the detention center. This C-18 as proposed would cause a number of problems that could ultimately lead to issues that are just the sort of thing that we're trying to avoid. So with that, I wanted to open it up if there's any questions. I know that there's limited time.
So any questions from commissioners, please put your name cards up and I'll call on you. Commissioner Layton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Layton, District 7. I've read your letter that was added late to the packet. In the letter, it's very vague about what exactly is wrong with C-18 that interferes. It's an oversight measure about accreditation, which, to my knowledge, Raymond Hall has not been accredited yet. And it is really about oversight. It doesn't supersede any judicial orders. It doesn't change any operations. It really is somebody that is oversight of the kids we have in custody. So the letter here and even the comments today is very vague about what specific elements that this would have troubles for. So I'm very curious about specifically what exactly that is.
So let me start with your first point, which was about accreditation. That's not something that really exists right now. There is no such thing as accreditation. What we have is compliance with PREA, which is known as the Prison Rape Elimination Act. We are compliant with that. In fact, we have been compliant with that since it was instituted. And the first time that we actually started to institute that as a court was 2016. And we have been compliant with that since that started. When you're asking about what sort of things would interfere with the operation, one of them, for instance, is that it's proposed in this that they would have the ability to force certain disclosure of documents in the general process. That's something that we don't actually allow. There are certain things that are private about the youth that are in the facility. So it's a proposal that would now insert someone from the executive branch to look at what is going on in portions that are already audited by law enforcement, are already audited in general by the PREA Act, and would create this secondary piece that would slow up a number of decisions that we have to make. A great example. About 3 years ago, we were reached out to by law enforcement. They had some concerns with booking policies. Booking policies have been changed during COVID. We were able to sit down with law enforcement, find out what their concerns were, and some of them were very valid. Because of that, we changed some of the booking policies and began to book some youth that were not previously being booked. Your proposal would mean that we would have to go through the executive's office, we would have to sit down with them, and would have to have additional meetings that could, in some ways, jeopardize the safety of this community as a whole. So it's very important to understand that because of the system that we have right now, we are able to quickly modify what we do as a court in order to meet public safety needs.
Commissioner Malowski.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I call the juvie just to be able to get a better understanding of how everything works. But I'm very pleased that a lot of changes has taken place and new programs you guys are initiating. Well, the juvie's initiating, which is very exciting about that. My thing is that what C-18 is trying to propose, do you believe it's an overlap which would create a lot of problems in the long run for the parents who have children there because of personal information, privacy, and security in regards to that? Do you feel that this creates more of a conflict of interest than it is a benefit to the parent? Because that's the other concern, is parents making sure that they are able to obtain clear and concise information on what happens to the child in your custody.
Understood.
Thank
And as of right now, that is something they're able to obtain. Every parent is able to contact our facility 24 hours a day. They oftentimes do, to find out information that is going on. Any medical emergency that happens is immediately dealt with and the parents are notified. This new proposal would set up a number of things that would be a barrier in order for them to access information and for us to make certain decisions in a timely fashion. For instance, there are safety concerns sometimes when we have to take a child out of the facility in order to get medical treatment. This proposal would create another barrier for us in doing that. Some of these youth, and let me be clear, we don't incarcerate a lot of youth anymore. I think as of last Thursday, we had 11 youth in custody. But the 11 youth that are in custody are generally charged with very violent crimes. I mean murder, robberies with firearms, shooting people. Those are youth that unfortunately we have to consider safety concerns when we transport them out of the facility. When you add another piece to that, that is another layer that is going to create major issues for us in trying to operate the facility in a efficient manner.
So that actually concludes our 10 minutes. Thank you so much for coming to speak with us. I really appreciate it, and for answering our questions tonight.
Absolutely. I will just say that we have signed up, so we will come back and answer additional questions in the comment section.
Yeah, so, and just so everyone knows, for public comment, we don't respond to folks, but people are welcome to share their comments with us during public comment.
Madam Chair, I just want to just publicly object to what we just heard, which was, we've heard from several forms of government through this process who came to us and talked about their body of work and their function of government, and we have never really had one that just came specifically to object to a certain thing, and to allow it this late. I just want to formally just note my objection to that. Thank you.
Your objection is noted. Thank you, Commissioner Layton. Commissioner Rohr? We've got a cable slot. There we go.
Commissioner Aurora, District 6. So I encouraged the courts to come, and so did other.
This isn't a discussion. This is objections.
And so did other.
This is
So-
not a point of order. This is not. If you have an objection,
You don't have the
raise
floor.
it. Great.
So he can point of order. So
Yeah.
Point of order.
Oh, so are you point or because Commissioner Layton was point of ordering your comments. So
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Layton, your point is well taken. Unless there is we aren't open for discussion right now. Okay, I have an appeal from Commissioner Rogi that I believe requires a 2/3 vote to appeal that decision. So all in favor of appealing my decision to uphold the point of order, please raise your cards.
It's a majority vote. Point of order. It's
Oh,
a
is it a
majority
majority?
vote. It is a majority vote.
So can our DPH, do you mind, Wayne, is it majority or 2/3 to majority? Okay, thank you. So it is a majority. If we can have our cards up, please, for anyone who objects, or sorry, who supports the appeal.
I count 8.
And then all in favor of the appeal, or sorry, I said that the wrong way. So all who are against the appeal, please raise your cards.
I count 11.
All right, and then any abstentions? We have one absent. All right, so that appeal fails. Commissioner Berge?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Rogi, District 3. I would like to state for the record that the Executive's Office did come in here and advocate for certain specific proposals and specifically say that they were against others. So I think it is relevant and important, especially when you're talking about the juvenile justice system and separation of government powers, that we do hear from the judges, and I appreciate them coming today. So thank you very much.
All right, Commissioner Randall Kelly?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Commissioner Randall Kelly, District 4. I just want to clarify that in your function, in your executive roles, just like with council members, there was not a protracted advocacy for or against the position, other than when 2 executive staff brought in their own amendments. Otherwise, it was describing what the office does and then listing things they may or may not support and are ambivalent on. It was not a protracted advocating for a specific position.
All right, so Commissioner O'Leary, and then Lasky.
Yes, I'd like to point out that the judicial branch is not a department. It is a branch. It is an equal branch of the 3 branches of our government. And as such, I think having them be given the opportunity to speak after an amendment that comes up that specifically impacts them and maybe violates the branches of governments is very important for this body to hear when we are going to make a decision. And frankly, I would love to hear from people in the legal realm how this plays into the 3 branches of government. Thank you.
Yeah. Commissioner Lasky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Right now, we're splitting hairs. Commissioner Roki stated, correctly. I mean, that's what happened when the executive branches were here. We can define it any way we want, but that's what they did. They had that opportunity creatively to be able to express their opinions on certain proposals. To the judicial system, as Commissioner O'Leary is stating, yes, they're a separate branch. They should have that opportunity. Their time limit of coming out here is very precious. I know it's not easy for them to come out here, but you know what? Their information is crucial because we're not familiar of the language and the procedures in regard to this forum. C-18 is very crucial. We need to at least obtain information so that we can make logical and intelligent decisions in regards to this. Not just us as a commissioners, but also for the public so they can understand exactly how it functions, see how it aligns, and then make their decisions. This is the purpose now for the charter. And I really would like to be able to see these judges, officials to come up and help us to understand this so that we know how we're going to make the decision, especially when we're going to be placing our dots. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final comment, Commissioner Rohr.
Commissioner Rohr, District 6. It's my understanding that the courts have not traditionally come to a charter review meeting to speak on anything, regardless, or an amendment. They are taking this opportunity because there's an amendment that directly impacts their authority. And I can speak to the fact that King County had a similar situation, and this was in 1980 about that time, and the courts cooperated with the executive, and there was collaboration with the court administration and the juvenile courts. And what they did is all the judges voted whether they wanted to work with allowing the executive to manage non-court functions, and that passed with the support. There's been no collaboration at this point, and that needs to happen. So,
Madam Chair, this is debate about the motion. Mine was an objection to the process, and I would like this is a debate, and we can have that when C30 comes.
Is this a point of order?
So,
point of order, yes.
All right. Commissioner Layton, your point is not well taken. I would like to finish. Commissioner Ward, did you have one final sentence you wanted to say?
yeah, thank you for allowing the courts to come and speak today, Chair. And thank you, courts, for taking your time today. I do see several judges today. That's it.
All right. So I also appreciate folks coming to share with us. Like I said at the beginning, understand that this was very out of order from our typical way of engaging. And so thank you everyone for taking the time. All right, we are going to now move on to our DOT exercise, and folks will notice that we have public comment after this exercise tonight so that the public is able to give us comment about the exercise as a way to be as open to thoughts and feedback as possible. So, for everyone, commissioners included, what we have on the wall are all 20 of the proposals that have been advanced for final consideration. Each proposal is grouped by article, which will hopefully provide an opportunity to see the language that we are looking at in whole under that particular article. They're not rank in any sort of order beyond just the order that they were initially submitted. All of the proposals are in your packets, and we do have, I think, a couple of hard copies for commissioners if you don't have your computer or your computer isn't accessible to you. So another thing I want to note is that the summaries are not intended as a substitute for the language. We just didn't want to have pages and pages of summary up on the wall. So, like I said, the proposals are in their entirety in your packets. Every commissioner will have 10 dots that they are able to place. You can put all 10 dots on one proposal if you'd like, or you can spread them out as you see fit. For everyone online, hopefully you have gotten your dot selections to our clerk Katie so that she can place those for you. We're going to take 10 minutes to do this. So we need to get up, put our dots up, and then sit back down. Commissioner Boyd? I'm sorry, Commissioner.
I can't see which one's which.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I will make sure we get you some dots. Thank you for clarification. All right. Okay, so, excuse me, I'm not done, and I want to make sure that everyone hears the entire exercise. So after the dots are placed, we are going to take a brief recess so that the clerk can kind of count all the different dots, and so that we can take a minute, and then we will move forward with talking about the proposals. But like I said, I've said before, this exercise is not intended to advance or eliminate any proposals. It is a visualization. It's to give us information about the support that each of these proposals have, and to inform the public and commissioners about what that support looks like. So, I have an extra set of dots over here somehow, or we have a couple so that we can get. No. Commissioner Boyd is trying to circumvent the process. Yes. Okay, great. I think we all got them. Yeah.
I can't have 20.
No. Everyone's trying to get extra dots. Okay. So we will set a timer for 10 minutes, and we will have 10 minutes to put our dots on the wall. If I can please ask the public to not kind of come back here until we have finished this activity, just so that we don't have 30 plus people trying to get to the proposals. So we are starting the dot activity at 6:28. Commissioners, please start placing your dots.
Thank you for not running the courts like this.
Yes, thank you.
It's still open. Actually, there's some copies of
Troy put 2 dots on that one.
Eyes back there in the corner.
same thing. Yeah, basically. You got it.
My mic picks up a lot of stuff. Like you'll hear us talking and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's $40 Amazon. So it's so crazy.
We will eventually learn Robert's rules.
Wow.
Someday. I have it turned off right now, but I just very out of order. No motion on the floor. It's great.
Oh, that's cool. I'm sure mine would not survive a construction site. I mean, it does have noise canceling, and I haven't done that, but because it's hard sometimes hearing those guys when they're on the microphone, so it's nice to pick up everything.
But just like in the court system, it'll pick up some report. clear as day for 3 weeks. It works.
No, downtown. Well, at least like 5 of them. Which one is C1?
Probably the first one.
No, C18.
Oh, wow, they put C18 first, huh?
So they probably got the panties in a lot of all these judges coming in here boiling the clock. I don't know. I think it's kind of awesome.
I'm waiting for the full-blown arts and crafts.
Right.
Cut out a gold star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, C1's right where Martha's at.
Okay.
Where Martha's at, yeah.
I can't see.
We put one
I don't
on
know how
it.
you can. You know, you've got Zoom.
It didn't zoom in very good.
Oh, here. Mine has good Zoom. Represents support. So it's their 10 favorite ones that they want to see on the ballot. I think it's just a generalized, at the end they're going to count up how many dots there are. Don't go back there. We're going to yell at you. Okay, so we've got O2, C13, C28. Fletcher's head's in the way for that one. 21, 40. Yeah, C1's to the right of the erasers. So it looks like C1 is going to pass probably.
They did this in what
would the potential damages there?
See, it introduces
So you got the pen holder, C1 and C30. Yeah. I'm trying to get the one with all the dots on it over here. It's not you, it's the hat.
No.
Then I can submit more. C32 and C23.
They're not in order. They're not in order.
Yeah, they're not.
Oh, okay. That's
They're
not
in
1, 2, 3,
articles.
4. Yeah, correct.
They're broken into articles. C32, which one is that?
Those are my written comments, so I have the abbreviated version today.
Is that like intentional?
In case you don't get the package.
Oh, no, you're
Yeah, because they've decided that there's been a lot of violations and problems in the system. On whose authority they've decided this, I don't know, but that's what they've decided. And so they want to bring oversight, but the problem is that you can't have the executive branch oversighting the justice or the judicial. There you go, judicial branch. It's literally written into the U.S. Constitution, the state constitution, and any other constitution that exists. But we're wanting to change our constitution to allow it, and that's just stupid. And this one would have flown right under my radar. You guys had to shut up. Unfortunately, there's so many horrible amendments that it's hard to focus on all of them at the same time.
It might initially be appointed. You stand for election.
For 2 years, all the Superior Court judges, all 23 will go up for election. Yep, all 23. That's
Yeah, that's insane. C-32 is the extending the signature time. Yeah, and it's got good support. Right in front of us. Yeah, 28.
2 minutes, commissioners, 2 minutes.
That's C3, would that be?
Just get a little leery. Oh, the corner medical examiner one. The one that yeah. Yep. That one should be a no-brainer. And it looks like it's got good support.
And so you need to read it and then understand what you're but I do understand that I have to read it because I thought with some of the stuff it did the time but this book changed from my mind and it makes me understand.
Oh, the preamble one, yeah. No, that one was a hot mess. That one was a hot mess.
In some ways because where something needs to be over, somebody needs to
As soon as it turns, and we're at
There is no C4. Okay, so this is 6.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I would entertain a motion to call a recess to give the clerk time to call your dogs and for us to.
I never make it in media. I'm too clumsy.